Hey, Nicholas.
Yes, babe?
I think I'm ready. You know, to have sex.
I figured you'd say that, so I came prepared.
You brought a condom?
No, silly.
Nick. Kinda kinky.
I rigged this room with explosives. Premarital sex is a sin. Have fun rotting in hell, Beth.
Nick! Nick! No! Wait! Nick, please! No!
I had to go and get my blazer, bitch, because it's time, and my political wig, because I just want to top into it. Roe versus Wade was overturned. This weekend. This is why I've been watching. When things go on, I tend to just sit back, watch, and even if it's a little bit later that I'm talking to you guys, like calling y'all, letting y'all know what was going on, I like to take that time to sift through everything that I'm seeing, kind of watch, especially when it comes to politics. Gossip, I'll hop right in and shoot my shot, but I wanted to really pay attention to what's going on around the world, okay? But before we get into all of that, because we're gonna talk about the Roe versus Wade. I'm sorry if you're not into that, and I am pissed. So if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and go on to the next video. If this is your type of flavor, bitch, open this bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? Take a chew. You know, like, we're about to keep it real about the situation, and if that's not your thing, keep it moving.
Cause I ain't got nothing for you nothing ass bitches.
But before we do any of that, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, rate and review this podcast. I don't do this for my health. You know, make sure you guys tap in with us every week. I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna go right into it. This blazer, I don't even know where I got it from. And this shirt, I probably should have never got it. But I actually like the shirt. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. But necklace is from my friend Kenny the Hippie. Ring from Kenny. These are my usual C from wherever I got them, okay? But I just want to hop into this. For those who don't know, Roe versus Wade was overturned. Was the decision of 5 men and 1 woman. If you don't know much about what happened, I'm just going to say it by their names, honey. Y'all know I'll fuck up a name and make it up. You know, you had John Roberts, Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, the only woman on the team. And I hope y'all burn in hell for what you guys did.
Hold on, sis.
now it's starting to, if you don't know anything about that, Google it really quickly. I want to talk about what's going on right now, okay?
Don't tell me what has been, tell me what's now, okay?
LoveBscott.com confirms that there has been protests been erupted in Washington, D.C. after Roe versus Wade is overturned. Roe versus Wade was overturned. You should be allowed to choose. After the overturning of Roe versus Wade on Friday, demonstrations quickly erupted on the streets outside of the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. In the crowd, the reaction was split. Anti-abortion activists cheered after their decades-long legal victory, while pro-choice protesters voiced anger, sadness, and despair. Rachel Nix, one of the pro-choice protesters, explained what made her come out to the streets to march. I saw the news and was really angry, she told People. I find a lot of community and solidarity in big protests. So even if we're angry and upset, it's nice to be able to kind of commiserate and be one with everyone else who's feeling the same emotions as I. Noting why she believes people who can carry children should be allowed an abortion, Nick said it's important to be able to make a big decision about their life that can affect their trajectory of their own life. Having a child is certainly something that changes your life permanently. So I don't think you should be forced to go through that if that's not something you want, she continued. Similar sentiments were shared by Gabby, a 17-year-old. I'm about to go to college. I can't just stop doing what I'm doing and go ahead and raise a child. I would not be able to afford that, she explained. And most people don't. They cannot. I'm going to get into that. Okay. She explained to People, I don't think a lot of people in this country, especially with the state of the economy, the state of politics, and the state of global climate change, want to have an abortion. But if it comes to it, it is not the right time. You should be allowed to choose. Kelly Red told People that getting an abortion has always been an uphill battle, she said. I think women and people that are able to bear children have always had to fight for their rights. I don't think it was ever taken for granted, she continued. I think that people have always pushed for that access. The 23-year-old brought an abortionist healthcare sign to protest and explained what that meant for her. I think anything that deals with how my body functions is health, and I should have the right to go seek care of that. I think it's just that simple, she said. It's a natural cycle that happens in my body, and if I should go see a doctor to discuss that, then I should have every right to do it, and it should be health care. Grant Mobley, also 23, held the same sign during the rally. I don't think there is any one thing that necessarily determines what healthcare is. I think everyone should have the right to do with their body what they please, he explained. As for what the future looks like for pro-choice activists, providing support for abortion funds and getting prepared for what is to come after their biggest priorities. I think always donating to your local abortion funds is really essential, especially funds that are in the South where abortion access is going to be most affected, said Nix. Other than that, she continued, I think just building secure communities where we take care of one another and promoting comprehensive sex education and birth control while providing federal funding for all those things is going to be really important. For Reed, her biggest concern is the Supreme Court's decision becoming a slippery slope into the legislative changes, such as same-sex marriage. I think that this is where it affects you too. I think that's the slippery slope concern is major, she explained. But for the moment, Reed says it is important to recognize that it is under threat and to take action to ensure that it doesn't happen. She added, it's what we can do now to prevent that from happening, but also being realistic in that, hey, it could happen. For elated pro-life campaigners, however, Friday's decision was a cause of celebration. It's an amazing decision that took courage, Georgia Republican Congressman and Andrew Clyde told People. I'm down here to say good job, Supreme Court, and to support them and what they've done. Pro-life activist Robert McCone, who held a sign reading Abolish Abortion Now, said he has been attending anti-abortion marches for decades. I've been wanting this for a long time, he explained. McCone, 58, also told People in his opinion on the issue goes beyond religion. It doesn't have to be a religious issue. He said, it's just life. You don't have to be religious to recognize life. Demonstrations across the U.S. are expected to continue throughout the weekend. According to CNN, protests may occur in big and small cities like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Illinois, Texas, New Mexico, and California, among others. We must continue the fight. I agree. Even if you read the room, right? Most young women understand that this is healthcare. This is something that's important to them. Women have made the, I think, genius choice in choosing them first. After centuries and decades of women choosing family that ends up taking so much from them. We have to be honest. I'm not coming from a place of cupcakes and rainbows. Well, I kind of am coming from a place of rainbows, but and a little cupcakes, but we have to be fair about what's happened to women historically. Women have chosen to stay home and raise kids while men go out and fuck off and make millions and abuse and beat and cheat and scheme on them for centuries. Now women are taking matters in their own hands and making choices with their own lives and their own careers. And having a baby is not immediately and sometimes not at all in that calculation for them. And that is fair. Choosing yourself, your health, you're not putting your body through that, not putting your life, your wallet, your anything through that should be your right. You fuck off and let some nigga shoot up your club and now you're stuck with him? Fuck no. And then there's always pro-choice. There's always choices for men, whether it comes from them having to get a vasectomy, and choosing not to be there. Large majority of men are not stepping up to do what they have to do as parents, whether they're having multiple kids, Nick Cannon, having multiple kids and not being in different households and not being there and still putting the brunt on the mother to have a career, to hold herself down, to hold down the family in this economical change in this world that you could wake up tomorrow and monkeypox could swarm the world, right? This is her decision. This is something that affects her and her household. And who wants to do that if they don't have to? Making that choice, I've talked about this privately since yesterday morning. I've tapped in with people about it, argued with people in my DMs and stuff like that on my social media. And here I want to make it my intention when I want to say short but very clear. I want y'all to stay out these women's pussies right now. Mind your fucking business. Stay out of these women's pussies and go and find something to do.
Why are you speaking when no one asks you?
We have bigger fish to fry. You want to talk about being pro-life, bitch? Put the motherfucking guns down. And go pick up a fucking picket and help these women get further in life. Black women, this is the biggest shot to women of color ever. This is a fight for their lives. And to be able to have healthcare, you're not only taking away with these clinics, you're not taking away abortion, you're taking away access to most times free or cheap birth control, free condoms.
What?
Free access, a place where they can go and have these conversations with a professional, not their mother or their auntie or their best friend, someone that they can have someone look inside their bodies and not judge and it be anonymous, to be able to figure out what's going on and have a real understanding about what's happening with their bodies. A place that after they make a large decision like abortion, to come back anonymously and check in with these people and have a rapport with these people, have a sense of community, counseling, all these things. This is what you're taking away. I'm from Pearl, Mississippi to be exact, where we only have one abortion clinic. Shout out to Miss Dorinda. As long as I can remember, she's always been there fighting for the Pink House. What is it actually called? I know it's nicknamed the Pink House. What do they call it? Miss Dorinda Hancock. I work with her closely. Well, we're like the last, only one abortion clinic in Mississippi. So that means that a lot of women are going to have to leave and go 3 hours away, 4 hours away, which is cool for a day trip for, these white girls. They get in their car with their moms and they go and travel and make the day of it. But most of these women of color, they have to work. They can't afford to come home. It's the choice between going out to go get an abortion and 3 hours away and then have to get a hotel to sit back. They don't have anybody in their lives that is going to take care of them. Most time it's shame that's stuck with the abortion. So they can't make an abortion, come back home and rest and get to work in the morning. This is a financial costly decision for them to make. You made it already harder with the shame, the humiliation that goes into with these, even men like me having discussions about this happening. There's already so much shame and stigma with it. So you already have to do that before you make a decision to choose yourself. Then you make it twice as hard, making it like a travel thing, making it more of a fiscal burden for these women to not procreate because they don't fucking want to, or it's not the time, or it's their choice. That is insane.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
And it is a gateway to overturning so many other things in the Constitution. Putting our black asses in separate watering facilities, separate workplaces.
Niggers!
Making sure that I can't finally marry that baller that I fucking want to marry. You know what I mean? Like, this is serious. Women's issues and women's health is everyone's issue. And we need to behave that way. In the link in the description, I want you guys to click the links, do what you can to help make this happen, because it's important. It's all of our issues. And I don't want to do the whole show about this, because do your own fucking research. I'll come in and we'll chat on this, and I'll spin my thoughts on your head and all these things about it. But I want you to do your own fucking research. If you have any questions about what's going on, what happened to us yesterday, happened to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important. Even the gay community, this directly affects trans lives. There are trans people who could get pregnant from this. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I want everyone to take this seriously. Click the link in the description and see how you can donate time, get information, all that you need to come up with an educated opinion about things. And I want you guys to tap in with me at the bottom. What are your thoughts on Roe versus Wade being overturned? Are you pro-life, pro-choice? Are you still confused about how this directly affects you? Let me know in the comments. We're going to move on. Before we do, make sure you guys tap in with us on all our socials, twitter.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis. And let me know what you guys think about the Roe versus Wade. This is crazy. I just shout out to all of the people, celebrities finally speaking up about this thing. I remember when Roe versus word that Roe versus Wade has been actually the steam coming in stronger and hotter, that the fact that it was going to be overturned and that they had nothing, it was almost damn near done a couple of months ago, and nobody was speaking. People were talking about how celebrities and all these pro-sex women were not speaking out, but they've shown up and showed support. The second hot topic is about some of those women who've made that choice. Before we do, I want to talk to you guys about last week's Twitter poll. We talked about another pro-sex siren, Janae Aiko, her expecting a baby with Big Sean, rapper Big Sean. Do you guys believe that Janae Aiko and Big Sean are expecting their first child together? 76% of you guys said yes. So, and I believe it. Congratulations to Janae Aiko and her choosing to bring life with Big Sean into this world. So shout out to them, but we're moving on. LovelyScott.com reports Lizzo and Live Nation pledged to donate $1 million to Planned Parenthood and pro-choice organizations. The Roe versus Wade overturn by the Supreme Court is galvanizing the entertainment industry, and singer Lizzo is leading the charge, announcing today that she'll contribute to the fight. Lizzo is one of the several artists who have spoken out against the overturn of Roe versus Wade ahead of her upcoming tour in support of her upcoming second major label album, Special. The About Damn Time rapper is teaming up with Live Nation to donate a portion of the sales from her tour to Planned Parenthood. Amen. I'm pledging $500K from my upcoming tour to Planned Parenthood and abortion's rights, she said in an Instagram post. Live Nation agreed to match to make it $1 million. All right, Live Nation, here we go. Lizzo continued emphasizing the importance of remaining vocal and providing funds to organizations aimed towards helping people affected by today's ruling, including Planned Parenthood and the National Network of Abortion Funds. Black women and women of color have historically had disproportionately less access to family planning resources. This is a great loss, but not a new one, Lizzo continued. Additionally, Live Nation has shared plans to cover travel expenses for employees who reproductive care services outside of their home states, and to cover bail expenses if any of their employees are arrested for protesting peacefully. All right. They are also working on initiatives supporting voter registration and turnout. That's right. Throughout her career, Lizzo has been outspoken in her support of marginalized communities. Earlier this month, she re-recorded a portion of her song, Girls, when fans expressed concern over an ableist slur in the song's lyrics. As an influential artist, I'm dedicated to being part of the change I've been waiting to see in the world, she added. Lizzo's special tour is set to kick off in September with guest Lotto. I have to actually say, I have been meaning to say this for quite some time, not just because of this decision that she did, which is amazing and brilliant. I owe Lizzo an apology. I think maybe season 1 or season 2, I kind of came for Lizzo. I said that I felt like she was just a bunch of like pussy stunts. That she's just kind of known for her smoothie cleansing her diet, and and that I don't really know any of her music. I didn't like her music. I wasn't a fan of her music, and I feel like, I'm like, girl, another industry plant. But I'm always here as quick as I'm able to spit it out. I'm able to take it back. Lizzo, I went through and did my research. I love Lizzo's music. And she really made me a fan on About Damn Time, which is her recent song. And I did go through her first couple of music, and I liked it. Like, it's good. And I've become a fan of her, and this has made me like her even more. I do love the body positivity that she pushes out there, but I felt like I don't really like the idea of body positivity being 100% of your platform, because one, I am a body positive person. I am bigger, but I don't consider myself, I don't like to use the term body positive, because if I up and want to decide to go ahead and get me a sleeve, I don't want y'all to put that over my head. Like, the fact that I chose my health or chose style or fashion or being able to fit into something at that time, and I knew that would make me happy. I don't want to become a part of an army which is a choice. Like, a lot of times, like, people being this size, you could really push yourself and lose weight. And then there's some people who will never be small. I don't think I'll ever be a small person just because of my stature. I will never be skinny or scrawny. That would just never be me. But if I choose to go get a sleeve and be smaller than I am today, or go get something done, or really dedicate myself to, which I will. I love to work out, and it's not something that I don't really care. I think I look good no matter what. So if my weight is up or if my weight is down, I choose to love myself regardless. So I guess that does make me body positive. But I don't want to claim that, because if I do decide to go get surgery, I don't want y'all coming for me. So that's why I kind of always side-eyed Lizzo for that being her more than what I've heard about her music and how great her music is. I've just heard more about her being more body positive. And I feel like that's no different than my disdain for Lil Nas X, who I keep trying to go back and listen to, and I still don't like his music. So, you know what I mean? So all I see is just someone who's who's sticking by the important gay narrative. But then I open you up and I'm like, okay, well, that's it. Like, I'm going to close that book and move on because this is just a cute little cover. I want to support people who have it all. And now I can say that Lizzo does. So make sure you guys tap in with Lizzo as well. See what she's doing. Go see her tour. Support. I know I will just because of this. I don't think I really want to see Lizzo up there, but I will. And again, if you guys don't have to go see Lizzo to do it, you can go in the description box. There are links in here to help donate, see how you can show up and support where a lot of the protests are being held and how you can be a part of them in the description box. So make sure you guys tap in with that. And if you were just listening, we're going to move on. But make sure you guys follow, hit that subscribe button, rate this podcast, thumbs up, 5 stars. Because I'm a 5-star bitch, all right? And leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Lizzo and Live Nation's gallant efforts to help women be thrusted into the future, be protected, their rights be protected. I forgot to tell you guys, I'm sipping Douce on a rock. It was Douce Cran earlier. Usually I'll do some clear, but I need some brown for this one, bitch. Like, girl. And if you are just tuned in, or if you're new listening to the show, make sure you guys click the description box to see the drinking game, this week's drinking game. Take a shot, take a sip whenever you see this, or something on the lines of this, and get fucked up with us. This is some crazy shit, bitch. We can't handle this sober. Like, come on now. This is a lot of shit. A lot to unpack. So much. And if you think for a second that they won't come for our Black people, gay rights, like...
I want you hoes to wake up. Wake up, ho!
Child, how did Nicki Minaj get back in the mix, child? And not just specifically Nicki Minaj, her husband. This is from LoveyScott.com. Kenneth Petty's prosecutors want him to serve hefty jail sentence. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, faces 15 months in prison for failing to register as a sex offender in 2019. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, is currently in the midst of a huge legal fight. Months ago, Petty pled guilty to failing to register as a sex offender in the state of California. Back in 1995, Petty was convicted of an attempted rape in New York, which forced him onto the sex offenders registry in that particular state. The terms of his conviction state that no matter where he lives, he must register as a sex offender there. Once he moved to LA with Nicki, he stopped keeping up with the stipulation, and it's now costing him dearly. According to TMZ, Petty is going to be sentenced on July the 6th, and prosecutors are going hard in terms of their jail recommendations. While Petty is hoping to escape jail time in favor of at-home confinement, prosecutors believe this would be Petty getting off easy. In court documents, prosecutors say Petty lives in a gated community and that Nicki's house is simply too nice for house arrest. With that being said, prosecutors are now asking for a 15-month sentence that would then be followed by 5 years of supervised release. They're also looking for Petty to pay $55,000 in fines. And needless to say, prosecutors are not messing around here, as they truly believe that Petty is trying to skirt punishment by indulging in a lavish lifestyle. This is a developing story, so we'll be, we've been talking about it before, and we're going to keep talking about it. I hate that he did this, but I will never, I'll be remiss if I did not sit an eye on the fact that these motherfuckers are so mad about this man not registering to be a sex offender, and they want this black motherfucker to suffer. And I just think that that's so crazy. Like, you know, when you have white people murdering people and you're giving them lavish mental hospitals and options to stay home during their before their trial, is you're not even making them confined. You're making them go on probation and or pay fees and get home. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be with their family, let them rest for a fair trial. And you want this black man for not, he's already done what he's supposed to do for what he was prosecuted for. Now, because he didn't register to be a sex offender, he made a mistake. Y'all want him to suffer bad, 15 years, which, to be fair, is disgusting what he allegedly did, and it's disgusting if he refused to become register as a sex offender. That is disgusting. Weird and disgusting. You did the crime, do the time. But to actively, secretly want him to suffer and not... This is kind of why I understand Nicki a little bit and why she is actively trying to protect him. This is something that he did 15 years ago. And because he didn't register to be a sex offender, which is a crime, which is horrible, you want him to pay, like you're actively out there trying to make his situation worse for him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I get heebie-jeebies by shit like that. You know, wanting a nigga to suffer is really, really, really weird. For not for just what he did. Now, he did crime, he did the time, allegedly, but for him to make a mistake on the back end and wanting him to do 15 more years is kind of why black people have an issue with the legal system as a whole, because once you do the time, they just want you back in the Bing all the time. And it's hard to make a good life. I mean, why should he did the time, he did the crime, and he should have registered. Now, don't get me wrong. This man should have definitely registered. I think that registered, he should have been, you know what I mean? He should have did his part. But because he had a lavish lifestyle after he served his time, y'all want to make him suffer? I feel like if he was a white man, that would not have happened that way. You wouldn't have cared how he was living. You would have done just what was regularly supposed to be done for him. If he was a white man, this would have definitely been different. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it just feels icky. It feels weird, like you want to make an example out of him. But niggas, why y'all always trying to make an example out of niggas? Like, why? Why? Especially niggas when they finally get something. Why do y'all want to make examples out of them? That's strange when y'all are trying to keep us looking at us like we have no empathy for Donald Trump for some shit he actually did, tearing down the nation. Oh, these hearings, these Gen 6 hearings are just, y'all are just trying to take down Trump. Have some sympathy. He hadn't done his time yet. Nothing happened to Trump. But this nigga did the time and now y'all want to tear him down. Do you get what I'm saying? Y'all are weird. Y'all are really, really, really weird. I don't know. I think that's the show. This is a lot spinning on my head. This ring is hurting me. And I'm hungry. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Because shit is strange. I love y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. Tap in with me. Make sure you guys click the link in the description to make the right decision, and that support women's rights. And donate what you can. Show up when you can and where you can. And let's continue the fight. It's not over. I love y'all. Peace.
It was a cultural reset. It was a cultural reset.